That was in there? Yeah. Is that down here?
I remember when we walked out of that, it was attached to that cooling vessel. It was right there. Where I had the
Yeah.
That's it right there. It got washed all the way down to there.
What?
Damn, yeah, that was a big story. Cut here and change because it goes this way and then cuts back that way. So this is the biggest change I've seen in a while. So get this, we have this stump down there. Last year, it was still up here. You walk out, you could jump over right here sometimes and not get wet. You walk out the back side of that stump is stuck up against those two logs sticking out there. So that's the biggest change I've seen. Wow, that's a huge one.
Logs here or something, kind of like this.
Yeah.
This is the biggest change.
Under the other one.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. Creek, by the way.
I was looking at that.
It could be that.
We gotta check.
Yeah.
Was it there last year?
Chaco?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was the year before. No, I don't think it was on last year.
I think this like
Really? Really? It's a big thing. Yes. That's stuff. You take your Jerry Crew picture with that thing, okay?
Yeah.
here's baby.
Oh yeah, Bigfoot. You know, it's so weird. Like, here's a very water.
Came down on, what was it, Saturday, I think it was. Disturbance there.
It's on the branch, it's on the ground. Last year this was dried up.
It was, and we tried to find prints.
This is the space of our mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're here.
And we have disturbed someone's tranquility.
Yeah. I wonder what that was.
Whoa.
This has got some hands.
Something stepped in there. You see right there. Daisy knows the way.
Got you zoomed in. There we go.
These trees fell over like 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, I think. Yeah, I think it's more like 5 years ago. But look at, they're growing.
Yeah.
All the branches, this one's going to be a huge tree. Just hanging in there. This is getting narrower and narrower.
It's cable.
That'd be a choker.
Mm.
Oh, no, I'm good. I was just doing a little narration on the. I think I'm gonna open the door starting here. We're at the side of one of the most controversial facilities in the country. And not far from here,
Leads to the,
yeah. I'm gonna do math, yeah. So the road is quite a bit. You guys had to build a platform, huh?
No. So
That's a whole story.
Yeah.
You want to
I know.
do it on it. I'm never going to try it.
No, take a load out of it.
no, I think it's more like 21. So the reason we built this, we know the position. The position measured out originally by Munn was over here. The problem he had when we had him here in 2012 is we had a lot more obstruction with brush, trees. Line of sight was the biggest thing to follow, hardest thing to follow back then. So that's his, see the blue down there, that's his original. We reassessed it with better lines of sight and direct lines of sight all the way to smiley face. I can actually see smiley face from here, but you have to look right through the trees.
Yeah,
Anyway,
stuff on it.
we reassessed it and brought it over to here, basically. The position, I think, is right here, somewhere in here, that perfectly lines up, because we do have a foreground object right here, which is a stump we'll go to in just a minute, that lines up perfectly in the front. So we have three objects. We have the background, pool cue, leaning tree, whatever, smiley face, and then direct line to this fir stump or fir log that's sticking up with a branch.
Oh.
So we have a perfect line, and then we go off of the Hendon's measurements, 108 feet, to find out where Patty is exactly. So finding this position and what frame, what lens was used on the camera is what we're trying to do now. So what I've done so far is we've marked off two known far left and right objects that are in the film. One is a stump over here and one is a tree that is broken down, it's shorter over here. So what I did, since we still can't see all the way through, I put 2 spotlights basically on those. And we took frames with the same camera with a 20, 15, and a 25. Because it took me 2 years and I finally found a 20 millimeter that fits. So I had the camera. Anyway, ours is turreted, whereas theirs was not turreted. Simple camera, just came with 1 lens. So in my initial, I'm not convinced with it yet. The 20 was working the best. 25 was almost there. Most definitely not the 15. So we've eliminated the 15 for sure in that measurement. The 20 and the 25 is still a question because actually when I'm here, it's almost like I'm too far. It is like I'm too far. There's too much gappage between what I have and what is on the frame. So if we go back maybe another 5 feet or less, the 25 comes into play. Very close. So it's more of a question of this distance, of exactly where it was. So that's going to have to come in to play with a few different things. We have this scene in the 352 footage, that debris pile, just walk onto here. This is falling off into here. This is getting covered up. So you know the log that sticks out, the very prominent log that sticks out. Here's its base. Yep, right over there. See that? That's the base that was sticking out over to here. So what I want to do, assuming that's decomposed a little bit, I want to take, let's say, fluorescent line string, and let's recreate that log out here with some fluorescent string as far as its direction, and get the width and get some generality of that. What size is that? And then we'll put the film and the frame back to that. Next thing is, we just clean out the stuff. A lot of growth. A lot of good. This is right where we slept last time. Right there.
Nice.
Be an inviting place.
Yeah,
Haven't done that yet.
yeah. We were here and Ron slept all the way on the side over there.
Huh.
Found some big old mountain lion scat over in there.
Ooh.
Is Jonathan still over there?
I don't know where he went. Oh, he's over here, bro.
We all got to see. Don't record this.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys found it. Yay. No, that's mine. That's actually my grandpa's. That thing's probably
It's gotta go back.
40-something years old.
It's gotta go back to the ranch.
No, it lives out here.
Cool.
Yeah. So back here, keep coming back. We can see the big tree. We can see the maple. Keep coming back. We're almost getting into Patty's area that we can actually see the background trees. You see the big tree.
Yeah.
The maple, which was not a very big maple in the film, but it's very distinctive in its growth pattern. That was the thing that convinced me when I ran into the maple the first time we shot across our line. Saw that. I saw the big tree, saw that, saw all the other trees that were in 352, but the maple was the one I was like, there's no doubt that's the same tree.
That's the one up, kind of up on the hill?
Straight ahead, yeah.
Big one?
Yep.
Okay.
And which one's the big one that you're pointing out?
So when we initially took our measurement from initially frame, camera getting turned on the other side of the tree, we measured straight across. We're going to do a direct north to south line, mark it, and then do a direct east to west line, mark it, and then start gridding everything in between those. So we have a meridian within our pattern. As we measured across, we couldn't see. All this was brush down to here. You can see all this kind of stuff. You couldn't see 20 feet in front of you. When we got over to here, so we took our measurement all the way pretty much to the bank right below the big tree. It gave us our 382 feet
That's the big
from
tree.
frame, first frame,
known frame all the way across to here, you know, which was revealing because in the film, it doesn't look like it's over a football field length. I mean, almost 2 football fields, 382 feet. That's a lot. That's a lot. Excuse me, not 2. Over 1 football field. So we got to here, and we had the big tree. We had a lot of vine, maple growing, which are these. These are old trees. Daniel cut down a bunch that were around here that are in the actual frame. He didn't know what he was doing.
That drops down.
Anyway, this was a young tree. It was very tall at the time, and you could tell the differentiation of the maple coloring for fall as opposed to the vine maple. They're very different. So I could tell at top that that was a maple. But if you look up the maple, go to about 10 feet, and it starts to curve straight back up. You see that? Mm-hmm. So even as a small, thin tree, it was more like the size of that one on the far right in the frame. Maybe even the one next to it. It might have even been, but see how tall they are?
Yeah.
See how tall they can get right away? Because they're in competition for light with all these tall conifers. Anyway, there was a bend in it right there, just like that, and it went all the way up. And the tree grows from the top up and the branches out. It doesn't, you know, like grow from the bottom up and push things up. So any characteristics it has at a certain level or height is always going to be there. It'll get fatter around it, but it's always going to be at the same height. But that convinced me this was the exact combination between that tree, the leaning tree, and then there's a laurel and hardy that he and I walked over. When he saw that, he's like, yeah, that looks great. He and I walked over to here in 2012. And he goes, I gotta see Laurel and Hardy. And I go, what's Laurel and Hardy? And he goes, I'll show you. Let's walk over here. We walked over here. Stays out here. And to him, Laurel and Hardy was this tree and the tree next to it. There's a bigger differentiation of thinness and thickness to these 2 foreground trees that are in 252. Oh, pull up that. And he saw these and he goes, okay, 100% now. You know, he was like, okay, you kind of convinced me there, but we had to walk over here and we looked at those and we had a perfect line. He was like, yep, okay, 100%. That was his convincing that this was the spot. Let's see, yes, which is, I'll pull up, you guys got 352?
No. Not that cool.
You guys seen Sasquatch sunset yet?
Did you?
Oh, I had to work on it.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Should we watch it?
Oh, yeah. It's fun. Alright. I gotta wait 2 minutes older. There's the update. There's smiley face. Right there. And then we go way over here. See him? That one. That one and that one. See how he comes out? A little swoop.
Yeah.
And see how he's bigger? The different, you know, they're closer to size now, but back then, those are the 2, Laurel and Hardy.
So rad.
So here's the maple. right there. See it? Right there. It turns. Little turn right there. Climbs. And then what I found is this branch right there. See that? This log right here. That branch is still there. See how it lines up perfectly? Smiley face. Leaning tree. All the way through.
Amazing.
Cool. I haven't been over here in a while.
Thank you.
The unofficial member of the So what we're doing is we're doing the European style forestry, which is better than the American style. So when you clear branches, like you can clear that tree right there, all those branches, clear them all up. You just let them lay. When you let them lay, first of all, they're going to obviously put back the nutrients back in the soil. But when you let them lay, they decompose, and then they get into a punky state. They keep brush from growing up, and then they also are kind of a forest prevention, fire prevention, because they get punky and moist, and it doesn't catch and burn hot along the bottom. Instead of American, when they go in and clear something, they clear it all out, take it all out, burn it in a big pile, and do a slash burn. Because they want to get under it. But then all that happens is brush. All the shit grows up, becomes unusable until somebody comes through and burns it.
That's why it looks like that.
So, Roudy, whereabouts was Patty and all that?
Oh, ready?
Mm-hmm.
You and I have been to the site.
Yeah, not since the last time. I mean, and then the time I recorded, then my audio didn't pick it up, dude, for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've all had it happen, man.
But you could totally see what you're explaining. You had the a big copy of the picture, and you were explaining everything with your hands and everything, so you could tell what you're saying, but just couldn't hear it.
Here we go. So, right here's basically, here's Patty, and we're gonna look at it. Go ahead and turn this way. Pat, we're looking through there. So if you could look through there, you can see the big tree. We can actually see the big tree right now. Just over her head is the big tree. See, I have the marks right through there. That's the big tree. So here's the big tree back here, off to her back left. And then looks like it's kind of obscured, but the maple's over there. So Patty, you would think, be way back there, but actually she's right here. Right here, and then, so put her about right here. The tree's actually cut off exactly where she is in 352, but either a little bit after or just a little bit before you're on this side, we can just frame and look right through the stump with the
Smiley face?
smiley face is back there.
Okay.
So smiley face, straight back through there. See that kind of lit up white tree? It's right behind it. It's in the shadows right now. So right through here, in through this grove of trees. I think there's a big fir kind of blocking our way, but right about here, somewhere in here, through given measurements from the hand. Now, to get this exact measurement, we have to establish exactly what frame it is, or excuse me, what lens it is, and then be able to start measuring that kind of stuff. But when I brought down Expedition Bigfoot, the LiDAR guy and I came down by ourselves the day before. LiDAR did this right, and then they did like they did with the shot it. But that's something that needed to happen, and let's walk to that.
He's gonna walk into the building and do a full walking tour down.
Copy. So here's what I'm talking about, Alex.
When you guys were here last year, you didn't get to hear Roudy.
No, we didn't. We were all by
This is the
ourselves.
best way to see it.
Yeah, so this is something that I found. Oh, it's got to be when when Perez was down here actually, and he didn't believe me at first. But here's what it is. This is the log. Careful, step on all
Sorry.
this stuff. But you're all right. You're all right over there. Because this is decomposing, obviously.
Yeah.
Fir, the big fir, old growth fir, doesn't decompose quickly. So that's why we still have all of our stumps, even though they're starting to fall apart. Smiley face is half of what she used to be. And this is a big fir log. So this fir log is slowly dropping down. And this is this white one right here, sticking up in perfect line with a smiley face. So that's what gave us that triangle, or excuse me, 3 points of intersection. Leaning tree, smiley face, foreground. So they use this foreground. I don't know if they took into account that it's probably not as high as it used to be. It was probably up this high in this picture, just because of decomposing factors pushed it down more. So if they took that into account or not, but they came up with, through the LiDAR experiment, which I walked them through, so they had a good clean reading of everything. They only put her at 6'3", which to me sounds right, because my initial telling that I heard from Bob Gimlin, he always said only 6.5 feet at most. So it fits perfectly within those ranges.
Is that the estimate that Cliff has come up with too, or I know he has one at his museum. I don't remember how much he said it was, but
I don't think it's not 7'5".
Yeah.
She's not.
no. He has like a blow up of it.
They're coming towards you. At first, she's like, "No, I'm just gonna do what I usually do with humans." But these dudes, wait, they're coming at me. Then you start seeing the half holes. Definitely when she's walking away, because he's running after her. He runs all the way up to here. All the way up to this position. She's crested that corner. This is his last filming positions are right in here. So here's 352. He got really close to her path. He crossed her path probably in here in his last position. So she was right here at 352. He gets all the way to that. We can walk all the way to the back. I'll point out. Natural. This hasn't changed up here. This bank here, all the way down into that, has not changed over the years. Nothing's flooded this high again. The reason this was all flooded in the '64 flood wasn't so much the flood itself, it was a huge landslide that happened downstream from here. So the landslide came down, blocked up the deluge of water that was coming down. A big lake formed behind it. This is all per Dick Levine. Big lake formed behind it, all the way up to here, backed up with water, pushed all the way over to there. That's a lot of water. But it took more than just a typical heavy, super heavy rain to get it all the way up to there. That's why we have that heavy silt, the black stuff under here. You know, that's not something that washed down, that's something that settles and pushes down because it was under a lake surface. So that built up over time. When that built up and broke through that landslide, that's what sent the huge deluge down that blew out the lower section into the Klamath. It used to go along that corner and hit hard right, and so much water came down at one time from that landslide. That's what popped through. It wasn't just flood waters continuously hitting. It was a buildup of power. So,
Yeah, if you guys get a chance, look up Sasquatch Archives on YouTube. I think he has the full stabilized footage, or at least the full footage on there. Because the part that people don't, that's what I was telling Roudy was so interesting. The part that not a lot of people see is as she's walking away. Where he was showing us, Roger's filming this way, she's walking up here, and you just see how wide she looks. And with that razorback, the hackle
she looks
raised.
wide at the beginning. I think people underestimate this first frame, so the foot up, all that kind of shit. That's more revealing than many things. You can see all the proper muscle structure in the back. Yeah, there's just too much anatomically correct on that. I mean, give Roger some props, man. He could pull that shit off.
Yeah.
Like I say, man, those guys pulled that off. That's even better.
Incredible
And
story,
that's
yeah.
That's just outrageous that those two guys could do that.
Remember like the composite they did with Isaac Tian and Jeff Meldrum and Bill Munns in one of those programs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And you see like the breast movement. I mean, it's just, come on, man. It's crazy.
To me, in the thigh, it's got the proper tendon to the hamstring.
Yeah.
It's got all the proper calf definition. It's a big calf. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a huge calf. But that's what you're doing. You're walking.
Absolutely.
And the gluteus maximus. Here's what you use the gluteus maximus for. Not for this. You've seen a bunch of cowboys that doesn't even look like they have an ass. It looks like it's inverted. It doesn't take ass to walk around. It takes ass to step up. It takes ass to step up and over. It takes ass to step up and go up that incline faster than anybody else. So that's why she has a big ass, because in an inclined area. Maybe Bigfoot, that are in regions that are not so steep,
They wouldn't need that.
they might not need that.
Right.
Right.
It's like people that live at higher elevations, you know, they have different lung capacity, and you know, we adapt to the environment.
Here's the two skunks. Combination of two of them in a frame. Over there, there's remnants of the old growth. So that's the old growth. The old growth used to travel down this side before it went back up that way. So yes, this is not new, but it's not too old where this is breaking away. Down across there, up over there to where Jahan took our picture, overview picture, right after Stephen. So, parking, right up there, wheels off, comes down, top of the bowling alley. No, this is the bowling alley. Somewhere, and that would be fun.
I believe that's what he said.
Try to chase
Back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where. You know where fitness claims to have found the butt print and like the feet kickoff where he alleged that she was sitting up there and followed.
I have no idea where it is up there.
Yeah.
All we have is Jahan's picture, supposedly from that spot.
From that spot.
So getting up there, trying to line up what we have, which would be tall trees, and trying to find that spot.
Okay.
Yeah, which is going to be tough. It's going to be a lot of new growth in front of you, as you can even see down here from that position. So.
Did you guys know about that? Permanent members of the UN Security Council.
No,
It's like they just. It's so it's amazing film. Yeah. Got some great commentary about like the nature of war and all this stuff. Really good movie. One of those few Nick Cage movies that's just like, wow, he played.
He has the potential of making good movies, but he just like agrees to so many shitty movies.
Yeah. I watched one recently where he was like some place where it was like a turkey and these animatronics become possessed and start killing people.
Is that recently, like just now? Everyone's saying it's like
Servicing cameras.
the scariest movie they've seen since
Just having a little break out here.
It's so
It goes through there, rounds down.
You're gonna be ready for a Humboldt Martinez.
yeah. It's so funny.
There he goes. Smelling the sign-in bottle.
There he goes.
Whoa.
We got again.
Smells
The sign-in bottle.
When's the last time that somebody was there? Ooh, see something down there. You see that?
Yeah.
Look, it's not the bottle. Look. Yeah.
Oh,
Looks
yeah.
back over there. You see something.
Bigfoot shooting in the wind.
9:26 at 8:26. 9:29.
All bird.
Flicking. That's what we get a lot of on these ground cams. That one is that one. Yeah.
That's Stevie there servicing some of the cameras down here at the site. Remember, Stevie came by earlier in the week and visited us. He came down and visited us at the shop. Good to see him back up here.
Yeah.
Here you are. You need antenna. Here you are.
And several bear, Humboldt Martin. I think that was about it on game cam. A few birds and stuff like that, but